So, music is literally controlling you in a serious note, right? You can judge a person and you can judge a society or an era, like in the 1960s, 80s to now. You can judge them based on the top hits of the music. Okay, so, I don't know what the exact, because I'm not old. Like right now, you have like Gangsters Wanna Be, Roadmen, because both the music actually in the movie is similar to that. More specifically the music, because they listen to that 24/7. It's repetition. And then I think if you go like 20 years in the 1980s or some shit, it was about love. Um, it was like overly praising women. Or was that in the 2000s? I'm not sure. I guess that also messed with their ego, so it made shit worse. And it also messed with the guys, made them more shallow. But that's a whole different topic. But the whole point is music. You can judge a person by the music they listen to. Why? Because the reason they like that music is because it speaks to them, or at least a part of them. So there's something inside that it's speaking to. So when you have like rock stars, they're usually crazy. You can tell by their appearance they're crazy, let alone the music itself. If you listen to someone that listens to like romance type music, I guess they're deeply wanting one, or affectionate, or anything along those lines. They're that type of person. They could be that type of person, or they're seeking something like that. Which I guess they both intertwine. Then you got violence. But the question is, I guess the main question is, why is that? Why is music so controlling? There's already been like tests, CIA tests, how you can use frequency as a weapon, especially music, or just certain hertz. There's also been clips about how celebrity and artists use subliminals into the actual music. So subliminals is like the super low. Like they could be saying something evil, for example, but it's proper low tone. So you can't hear it, but the subconscious mind can still register it. Consciously, you can't. It's under the video. Or if you play the video backwards and it talks about some evil shit again. The whole like Hollywood industry, or just the huge celebrities, they're all crooks. Every single one. I don't care what you say. Every single damn one. That's for a different topic. But yeah, the reason it's so controlling is because music is a form of subconscious programming. Simple as that. It uses repetition a lot. That's a form of, that's like a method to program your mind. Repetition. It's also like some hypnosis shit. And it also sways the emotions the best, arguably the best. Music. That's also another subconscious, which is more important than the repetition itself. So combine repetition with deep emotion. Those two alone, there's probably more, but those two I can just think of on the spot. Those two alone would shift your whole mentality, your whole mind, your whole subconscious, how you see life, your outlook, your beliefs. You know, it's like they say, the five people you hang around, you become. This applies to music as well now, because everything is digital. So the five people you hang around, you become. The five people you listen to digitally, you become like. So if you listen to these celebrity crooks, or just weirdos, or violent people, or romantic type things, which the movie comes into part, you become like that. You become the byproduct of your environments. It just has to happen. That's how the mind works. So you become the five people you hang around with digitally. So who you watch, who you listen to, all that sort of stuff. So this applies to, again, music, movies, celebrities, interviews, just any form of media will program you. So you can't just say, I don't know, let's say you're not a lustful person, or you wait until marriage, and then you listen to songs where it says shake ass, it talks about clubbing, drugs, women, fantasizing, all of that. You can't tell me if you listen to that for, let's say, hours a day on repetition, feeling the emotion constantly back to back for weeks, if not months, that it doesn't have a slight effect to you. Even just a slight, it would have a major one. It would have a big effect. You might become more impulsive. You might have random urges or thoughts related to that lustful behavior. And then sooner or later, it's just a matter of time before you actually commit, even if you think you are not that type of person to commit. So the brain is like a robot in a sense. You can program it, which is proven throughout history, throughout like major revolutions, throughout major events, let alone revolutions. I guess that goes more into like the conspiracy type shit. But yeah, be careful to the music you listen to. Is what I'm saying. I stopped listening to music. I went to, before I used to stop not listening to music for that reason. I probably went like a year or two without music, and then I started to get into music for some other coping type reasons, you could say. People like saying it's good, and then I just somehow like coped into thinking it could potentially be good, which is what I did to diet as well when I added fruits back into the diet. Um, but yeah, I mean that's shit. Where was I at? But yeah, instead you can replace it with instrumentals if you really wanted to, or some kind of uplifting type music at the very bare minimum. Not these like ones that are swearing, lustful stuff, evil stuff, bad habits, encouraging, reinforcing bad stuff. Or better yet, do what I'm doing right now. So create a vision of your future self, the characteristics, everything about that person. So pretty much you're time traveling to the future of your desired state, so the future of what you want, and you write how that person is living, what the person's characteristic is, stuff like that, from relationships to heights to finances, to everything, the way he talks, all that sort of stuff. You create it, you journal it. It took me like 2 hours of just journaling. They say you should do like 4 hours. I couldn't think of nothing. I think I had everything condensed. So just sit there with a pen and paper for like 2 hours. I couldn't even type anyway, right? My fingers are gone. Um, so you sit there, think of the future vision, and then you put it into AI using 11 Labs. So it talks over it as a voiceover, and then you listen to that on repeat. Write it in the third person perspective, by the way, not in the first person. You could do whichever speaks to you more. Like instead of saying, I don't know, I am rich or some shit, like a stupid example, or I am healthy, you'd say Sal, like my name, Sal is rich, Sal is healthy, from a third person perspective. Whichever speaks to you more, because some people when they do I am, it doesn't speak to them. It's like fake. If anything, it sometimes reinforces the opposite behavior because it's fake and it's not you. But when you say someone else is talking about you, then you can't really say it's fake because someone else is doing it. Which obviously we're humans, we're evolved from storytelling, we're evolved from praises from our parents, from our uncles, just from the family and community in general. So it uses that aspect as well. And just listen to that 24/7 and just put that on overnight while you're sleeping so it programs you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know how I went from there to there. Check out my unfiltered channel. It's called Sal Unfiltered. I got the best banging videos on there. Obviously, if your attention span is shit, don't watch it because the videos are like an hour long, from like 40 minutes to even an hour and a half. One of the videos are about health, my 7 years of health information, real unbiased, independent health studies condensed into 90 minutes, which is a banger. It would heal anything, even if the doctors say it can't. But that's a different point, different topic. Watch it if you want. But yeah, I hope this helped. I hope this makes sense and just implement it. Watch it again if you need to and turn it into like actual more tangible step that you can learn from and impact and benefit from. So yeah, take care.